How are we going, everyone? I'm just watering down the compost because I've cleaned out the chicken pen. We've got a lot of chicken manure, straw, that's pine mulch, and straw, bean straw that we use. And this is a compost bin that I have here, but I haven't been using it because we basically just throw all our scraps with the chickens, or we dig it into the garden bed. And when we clean out the chicken pen, this is what we do with it. We let it sit in here, let it break down because it's a little bit too fresh to put straight into the garden. But if you're making compost, some basic things that you need, or principles that you need to keep in mind to make good compost, well, the 5 elements, I think they're 5: heat, water, nitrogen, carbon, and air. Yeah, got it right. So heat comes from your green waste, your manures as well, if you like, if they're fresh, because they'll be hot. Green waste, as far as lawn clippings, they'll be full of nitrogen. So if you see when you stockpile a little bit of lawn, it starts to steam up. If you turn it over a little bit, inside it's still hot. Well, that's where your heat comes from. So the idea of making compost is to activate the microbes, the specific microbes that start to break down the organic matter. Now, they feed off carbon, and the carbon comes from newspapers, sawdust, dried leaf matter, things like that. So nothing wet that can break down, but they need the heat, which is the green waste, to start them off. So to get the heat in there, you need the green waste, but then you need to put the fuel in it to feed them, and that's your carbon. Now, when you do that, you need to hydrate it as well if your green waste is not enough there to keep it moist. Like, for example, here, this chicken manure down below, look, see how dry that is? See that dryness? Now, that's not going to activate. I need to hydrate this. So we've got manure in here. Yep, we've got breaking down occurring here because we've got the mulch and all that. The mycelium is actually kicking in, but a little bit of moisture is important. And along with the moisture, you need the aeration. Now, if you don't aerate it, you get the bad bacteria starting to develop. So you don't want that. You want good bacteria in your compost. That's the way it breaks down. If you don't get enough airflow, it becomes anaerobic, which means the bad bacteria starts to kick in. Have you ever had a rubbish bag sitting in the bottom of your bin that's had a little bit of too much juice or liquids or green waste, and you've sort of let it go for a while? When you open your bin lid, it stinks to the high heaven? That is an anaerobic bin, composting. So that bad bacteria can get into your compost, and look, it will break down as soon as you aerate it, but you don't want it to be there for too long a period. It's become stagnant, and it's the wrong type of bacteria process that you are trying to achieve. So aeration, heat, moisture, nitrogen, which is your green waste, and your carbon, which is your dry leaf matter, are the basic principles. And you can layer it in your compost if you like. You can use our auger, which is to aerate it, or you can use our garden fork or the garden fork to aerate it. So we have got the little augers you put on at the end of your little cordless drill, and to aerate it. But at the end of the day, a little bit of elbow grease using a garden fork like this is also good for the body and mind and soul, isn't it? As long as you don't mind the smell. So make your own compost. If you haven't got the room to make a compost bin or build a compost bin, you can get those they're pre-made ones, those plastic bins, or get a rubbish bin, turn it upside down, cut the bottom off that if you like. Or just dig a hole in the garden, and I know many of you do that already. So you dig a little hole, you call it a pocket rocket, whatever you want to call it. Put all your green waste in it, but chop it up fine. And the beautiful thing about that is it's already a composting plant facility. So the earth is one big composting plant. You feed it, whatever you feed it, it's got to be natural, organic, and you're going to benefit from it at the end of the day. So if you haven't got the room, dig a hole, bury it. The worms will come, the microbes will come, the plant root system will come and feed off that as well. And then you'll be able to do another hole a little bit further on. So in between plants, little pockets of composting is great. A raised garden bed like this if you like, or you can heap it out in the corner if you like. Any which way you decide to do it, composting is a better way than just throwing it out in a green waste bin or even into your waste bin. If you can recycle it, it's a better way for everybody, folks. You know, better for your garden, better for your environment, better for you and your family, because whatever you put into your garden, you're going to reap the benefits out of that. And if it's produce that you want to get out of it, you want to keep it clean and organic, don't you? You wouldn't be doing it otherwise, because if you are using chemicals, then just stop using them, stop growing them, and just rely on the big supermarkets, because that's what they do best, fill our foods with all sorts of toxins. You know that very well. Anyway, check out our website, vasilisgarden.com. We've got some great specials running, and yes, today is a big special day for me too. I'm going to celebrate the rest of the day with the family and friends. Well, not many friends, well, virtual friends. I suppose you can put them online, and you can all send me your wonderful wishes, and in return, I'll give you another bonus discount. I reckon I'll tell the online team to give you the spring special to bump it up to 25% off the discounted price. So use the coupon code SPRING and enjoy some extra discounts on our website, vasilisgarden.com. From me, Vasili, Maresi.